Imagine it's a beautiful September afternoon in 1983. You're in Los Padres National Forest with your family. You step a few feet off the pavement for a better photo, and you spot a shoelace in the dirt. No big deal. Parks are full of random junk. You lean down and you give it a tug, but it doesn't come free. You pull again harder, and your fingers hit leather. A shoe. It's still laced. It's still attached. And then you realize it's buried. Your brain does the math before you want it to. That's a foot. That's a person. And in that instant, this California forest is no longer a backdrop for a family vacation. It's a crime scene. So what the hell happened? This is Death National Park. Now, let's rewind 8 weeks. 2 young Swedish travelers were completely unaware that they were walking into a nightmare. Marie Lilienberg and Maria Wahlen had landed in California with every intention of seeing it all. Marie was 21, Maria was 27, both adventurous, smart, full of life. This was their dream trip. They mailed postcards home at every stop. We saw the Golden Gate Bridge. San Francisco is amazing. Next stop, Yosemite National Park. On July 22, 1983, they were last seen hitchhiking near Redwood City, trying to make their way east towards Yosemite. And then, nothing. No more postcards, no phone calls, no sightings. For nearly 2 months, their disappearance was a complete mystery, until a shoelace changed everything. Police and forensic investigators converged on the scene. They were found partially buried. Both women were bound with nylon laundry cord, hands tied behind their backs. Both had been raped, stabbed, and redressed before being buried, a detail that would give clues to who killed them. Marie, it appeared, had been killed first, and she fought back. Her autopsy showed defensive wounds. She fought for her life, but she couldn't stop what was happening to her. And this wasn't random. The nylon cord, that's not something that you find lying around on a trail. That's something you bring with you. You keep in the car. It tells you that this was planned. This was calculated. And we would find out it was. Someone was watching them. Someone waited for that right moment. And when they struck, there was no witnesses. There were no cars left behind, no fingerprints, just the bodies. But that silence of nothing didn't last. Within weeks, detectives started connecting the dots. The crime had a pattern. The remote area, the way the women were bound, the nylon cord. It led them to a name, Roger Kibbe. Roger Kibbe lived in the area. He had a record. He had been seen around some of the same places. And look, there were whispers. Something felt off about him. So police brought him in. They asked their questions. They watched how he moved. They listened to what he had to say. But he stayed calm, polite, cooperative even. There was no physical evidence, no DNA, no confession, nothing to hold him. So they had to let him go. Now later, they would find out who he really was, the I-5 Strangler. A man who hunted women along highways from 1977 to 1987, who used parachute cord, who redressed his victims after assaulting them and left their bodies in isolated places. I mean, think about this. They had a serial killer in the room and they didn't even know it. Now, the case went cold and the killer kept going until 1991. That's when the phone rang. Not in a police station, but at the Swedish consulate in San Diego. No name, no callback number, just a voice. An anonymous tip. A person was reporting someone named Lauren. They said he was a Canadian drifter, the kind of man who passed through California every summer, the kind of man who had problems with women. And the tipster said that after the summer of 1983, the same summer Marie and Maria vanished, Lauren also disappeared. Now, no one knows who placed the call. Maybe it was a concerned friend, a guilty conscience, or someone who was finally ready to unburden a secret. That call led investigators to consider another suspect, Lauren Herzog. What they didn't know, what no one knew at the time, was that Lauren would later be unmasked as one half of the Speed Freak Killers, a serial killing duo that left a trail of bodies, a pattern of random rural murders, often with restraints, often buried. Sound familiar? Now, it's never been proven that Herzog was anywhere near Yosemite in 1983, but his name still lingers. And by the way, can we also mention how crazy it is that we have so many serial killers with brand names running around California in the 1980s? I mean, this is some really scary stuff. Now, flashback to 1983, the families of these two girls out of their minds with worry. No word, no sightings, no idea what happened to these girls. And then the mail arrives. The final postcards from Marie and Maria start showing up back home in Sweden. Smiling, alive, full of life. But by the time those postcards hit the mailbox, they'd already been dead for weeks. No arrests, no charges, no answers. To this day, the Yosemite hitchhiker murders remain unsolved. The truth is, innocent people end up in true crime stories every day. Don't let it be you. Get the Protect Yourself toolkit below. Now, keep the true crime binge watching going. Click here to watch the next story, which has got more twists than you're ready for.